episode of Living Well with the Village in Howard podcast. We're your hosts, Mark and Joy. The topic today is I Served My Country in Vietnam. This is part 2. We're really excited to have with us the Living Well podcast studio 2 special guests, Arthur Grau and John Marsch. Both of them are members of the Village in Howard, and they're veterans of the Vietnam War. Even after 50 years, the impact of the Vietnam War echoes across generations. In this episode, we will hear Art's and John's personal stories of service and sacrifice, and how the war affected them, their families, and others.
And part 2 picks up when they start to talk about Agent Orange and their return home and several other things. And so we're going to jump right in.
So do you have any issues with Agent Orange like I had?
We flew through Agent Orange almost every day. And, I mean, there were clouds of it. And we just flew through it.
Yeah.
We didn't know
We didn't know at the time.
And unfortunately, I'm 100% disabled because of it.
And I haven't put in for it.
But we didn't know. They knew that it was a carcinogen before they started spraying it.
They knew.
We were collateral damage. And a friend of mine said, you know, I was killed in Vietnam. I just haven't died yet.
Yeah, with the VFW, there's a bunch of people we met from Vietnam that have 80-90% disability because of Agent Orange. And I could have applied for it myself because I had diseases since I came back from Vietnam. But I refused to do it because I wanted nothing to do with it. And I never joined the VFW until 2 years ago because I was embarrassed. I was ashamed.
I spent 49 years after getting out hiding.
Yeah, me too.
Nobody except my close family members knew I was in the military.
Yeah.
And I never talked about being in the Army, much less being in Vietnam. That was the last thing you would talk to anybody about.
Because it was too painful?
It was painful, but
Yeah.
also
How you were treated.
How we were still being treated. When we landed in California after coming home, I'll never forget it. We didn't know what to expect. We got off the plane and we had to walk across a tarmac. There was a chain link fence and there were protesters, hundreds of them.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget it. There was one guy right in the front. He was over 6 foot tall.
Yeah.
He long beard, everything, definitely a hippie. And he had a wooden sword he was holding up with a baby doll that he had put red paint on. And they were all screaming at us. You had to ignore it, but you couldn't. And that was my first experience with how terrible we were going to be treated. So I hid. I really did. Nobody knew. And even if you thought there was another veteran, when I went to school, I knew that there were other veterans there. We never talked. Never said a thing. And honestly, for those 49 years, I still had a lot of nightmares, still struggling. I'd wake up in the middle of the night and sweating. And the only way I could calm myself down was I would get out of bed and I had notepads and I would write notes remembering things that had happened. And I did all that for 47 years. My wife had no idea.
Then you wrote your book.
Then I wrote the book.
Yeah.
But still thinking,
everyone your book. And
this
what's the
was it. It's called We Gotta Get Out of This Place.
Yep.
One Soldier's Long Journey Home.
When was it published?
And it was published March 21st, 2018. So that was 49 years after I got home. And, but I was never going to publish anything.
Yeah.
I'm not a writer.
Yeah.
You know, and all I did was I wrote down my thoughts.
Right, so what happened?
To make a long story short, I blurted it out to a close friend of mine
Yeah,
about being in Vietnam
yeah,
and that I'd been writing some stuff.
yeah,
He wanted to read it. I said, you can't read it because first of all, it's all in hand.
Right.
It was all in cursive and I can't read it. Okay. But anyway, my twin sister learned about it
yeah.
and she hooked me up with an editor who, in the long run, I sent what I had written to her. She read it,
Yeah,
and I sent her a check for $100 just to spend the time.
yeah.
I got a call 2 weeks later, and she said, well, first thing I did was I tore up your check.
Oh,
I said, I know, it's terrible. I understand. I'm sorry you wasted your time. She said, no. She said, I've been doing professional editing for over 25 years.
yeah.
It would be an honor to edit your book. So for a year and a half, she and I worked on that book.
So you wrote out in longhand again?
I wound up putting it on my laptop. I learned how to use it.
Good.
And I even learned how to insert pictures.
Yeah,
You know, that was a real trip.
right.
And again, I still wasn't convinced that I wanted people to know what I'd done.
Yeah, right.
I was still.
Did she help you find your voice? Because I found your book to be very conversational and humorous about a non-humorous subject. And I really felt your message gets across very clearly. Like, did she help you shape that? Or?
She did.
Okay.
She
'Cause
really
it shows.
did.
I mean, I sat down, I read the book in one sitting, actually, all the way through.
That's great.
And, hey, on Amazon, Kindle friendly, very easy to find for Art's book. But, no, it definitely shows the amount of time that was spent in.
I was thrilled with it when it finally was published. And most of the response I've gotten from veterans,
Yeah,
family members. I've had several family members say, I gave your book to this guy because he never talked about it. He read your book and I can't get him to shut up. So to me, it wasn't whether the book got sold. It was who was reading it and why. And the response I've gotten has been, I feel like you were talking to me.
yeah.
And the commander at the VFW post that we both belonged to,
Now, here.
yes, he was a river rat. In
Yeah.
other words, he was in the Navy in the Mekong Delta.
Yeah,
And he said, I read your book, and he said, again, you were talking to me because I remember when we were out on the river and you guys were up there, we felt safe.
oh,
And what that meant to me was quite a bit because that's what I had hoped to be able to do.
You never got that.
Yeah.
You're just in Jeeps or quarter-ton pickup trucks
Yeah.
driving around. That's all they knew. The infantry.
Yeah.
It's only the senior people, the generals, captains. They knew what we were doing.
Yeah. So we were fortunate.
Yeah, but the only other thing they knew is that all of a sudden, when we were there, out of the blue, bombers would show up.
Yeah.
So that was the only thing. But they didn't know otherwise what we were doing.
Yeah, same here. I mean, we from our intel,
Yeah.
lots of times the B-52s would come in, but it would be
Carpet
later.
bombing, yeah.
Yeah, and they would carpet bomb.
If you've never seen a carpet bombing, you don't want to.
You have no idea. We would fly over afterward,
yeah.
and you could see how the 500-pounders would be walked like
Yeah.
that, and there would be it was a white circle because of the sand and blue water inside because of the rain. I mean, it was a weird looking sight.
Almost like the moon,
Yes,
only with trees.
with trees.
So those were the villages or?
No, that was the
military?
bombs. They hit the bombs.
Wherever they were, where the enemy was located.
500. I don't think they were 500-pound bombs that B-52s dropped. I think they
Yeah.
were smaller ones.
No, they were 500s.
500?
Yeah.
Okay. But they would. You didn't want to be anywhere near them.
you could feel the ground shake. There was
Yeah.
one. There
From
was,
miles away, you could feel the ground shake.
there's a picture in here where we had a large tower,
Yeah.
hundreds of feet up,
Yeah.
where somebody would be up there at night. Anyway, there's a picture of the tower, but in the background, all the smoke and whatever from the B-52 strike that went on outside of our perimeter. And you could see what was going on.
Yeah.
You could feel the ground just shake. It felt like an earthquake.
Yep.
So John, have you
Yes, ma'am.
share your stories with your family or friends? War stories.
I'm sorry?
He wrote a book.
Oh,
Did
me?
you- did you
No,
do
I
it?
said I wanted
don't
to
want
be,
to.
I wanted to forget.
Forget.
I just wanted to forget and not even talk about it because I said my coming back. His was same. It's kind of the same thing, but
Yeah.
when said World War II Liberty ship getting there, they
Yeah.
flew us home.
Yeah.
Flying home, they fly the northern route, which is closer to not the Arctic, but a shorter route before coming down to California. And we were probably 6 hours, 5 hours out of Vietnam when he started having engine trouble, and we had to land in a place called Shemya, Alaska.
Yeah.
There was a base, Air Force base there, a military base, an NSA base.
NSA right here. Uh-huh.
And we had to land there. We landed there in January, February,
Yeah.
in a snowstorm. And to get from the airplane into that where it was warm in the hangars, or whatever you want to, the buildings, we had to hold on to a rope because it was snowing so bad and blowing from the wind. They could get lost.
Wow.
So you had to maintain your hand on that and slide along till you got into the building. And we spent a day. We spent a day there where there flew another airplane from California to pick us up and bring us back. Going to and returning from Vietnam was interesting. But when we landed in California, same thing. You had people on the other side of the fences yelling and screaming at you, baby killers. One guy was throwing fecal matter at us.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Throwing all kinds of stuff.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it was not a fun thing. It was
Were you
not.
in your uniforms? I mean, like, was
You
it?
had to be in uniform.
Yeah.
Hey, you're
Did you even have anything else with
in
you?
Alaska. We're in our summer uniforms
Oh, great.
and no coats.
Follow the rope.
Yes, hang onto that rope, and you had to go about 100 yards to get into the building. But yeah,
I still have my uniform from '69, and I use that when I work with Gilchrist.
Oh.
We do salutes for veterans.
Oh.
And 9 days after my book came out,
Yeah.
I went unwillingly to the first Vietnam Veterans Day celebration at Martin's West,
yeah,
sponsored by Gilchrist.
yeah,
Really?
I did not want to go. The last thing I want to do is open that scab. That was the worst thing. But when your wife says you will go, your response is yes, dear. Now I'm still thinking of all the reasons why I can't go.
Me too.
Hoping maybe a heart attack or a stroke sitting on the parking lot at Martin's West. Something got me out of that car. I went in around to the front, and there were civilians and people in military outfits welcoming us with welcome home, thank you for your service. My knees were a little weak. After shaking so many hands, I went inside, and it was an epiphany.
yeah. It was a good thing. It was a good experience. Yeah, me too.
I
First
looked
one.
around, and there were hundreds of Vietnam veterans laughing, talking,
Yeah,
and it's like a V8. My God, I'm not the only one
No.
who's a miserable SOB. They had it worse than I did.
Yeah.
So what am I complaining about?
yeah, yeah. Same thing.
And
Yeah,
I was so thankful to Gilchrist for what they did.
yeah.
Now, after that, it was a wonderful event, and I go every year now. Believe me, I won't miss it. Right after that,
Yeah.
we got a request from Gilchrist to critique what we've been through. So I wrote a three-page report on what I thought. Now, about a couple of weeks later, my wife and I got bad news. I had cancer because of Agent Orange.
Yeah.
And the surgeon was not real positive about what I was going to go through. And this was September the 2nd, I'll never forget it. And he said, I hate to say this, but you may not want to buy Christmas presents. That shook me. And my wife and I were crying on the way back. As we were driving, I get a message from Gilchrist. Now, Gilchrist is known for their hospice.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, how did they know?
You're going there, you're going there.
And I'm thinking, oh my God, they've set it up already. What they wanted to know was, could they read what I had written at the next Vietnam Veterans Day celebration?
Wow.
So the director, Kathy, read all 3 pages at the 2019 event. And
you're still here. Past many Christmases.
oh my God, incredible. So by that time, too, I had signed up to be a volunteer with Gilchrist, and I've been sitting on their task force. About 42, mostly veterans, love it. We develop programs for veterans through Gilchrist in the area. So we do things like, well, mostly what I love doing is we'll get a notice that a veteran is in hospice, and we're requested to do a salute.
Oh.
So what we do is there's a team, anywhere from 3 to 6 veterans in uniform. We go either to their home, to the inpatient unit, to assisted living, whatever facility they're at, and we do a salute to them. It's called a salute to service, and it's pretty involved. It usually takes anywhere from 20 minutes to 45 minutes. We do readings, we do songs, we give them certificates.
The family are there.
Yes, the family's there. And the response we get has just been remarkable. They don't know what to expect. They think we're going to walk in, give them a certificate, salute them, and say thank you, and leave. Doesn't work that way. There's a lot more to it. So I love doing that. And we've got a great team that really enjoys it. But we also go around to a lot of these facilities like Brightview, Brighton Gardens, Heartlands, Sunrise House, all these places. And we meet with veterans every couple of months.
I have a friend that his father was at Brightview and had a salute, so that must have been you, or you were.
I'm sure it was.
And he came out of that. He was a Navy man for 35 years and hadn't really talked to his son too much about his service. Like, it opened up a whole ability for him to talk about what he'd done because he didn't feel like anybody cared.
That's it. The response has been amazing, and there's one I have to tell you. 2 years ago, I get a response. There's a World War II Army nurse at the hospice unit, the inpatient unit, and we don't know how much longer she's going to be around. Can you please come right away? So a half hour later, I'm down there in my uniform. I'm the only one available. I walk in, and there were like 25 people in this small room, mostly family, and she's sitting up in bed. Now she's smiling, she's talking, and I'm thinking, wait a minute, this can't be right. This is not what they call imminent death protocol. So anyway, so I go up, I introduce myself, I go through the whole ceremony. It's about 40 minutes, and I'm talking to her. I salute her, give her all the gifts and everything, and I walked up to her, and I took her hand, and I said, you know what? This is an amazing day for me. I am so honored, first of all, to meet you, but to thank you for serving our country. She pulled my hand up close to her, and she said, what are you doing tonight? The place broke up. The daughters after came up to me and said, she was kind of out of it before you came, but when we told her that you were coming to do this salute,
Yeah.
she brightened up and couldn't wait.
Yeah. Oh, so nice.
And when I was leaving, I went up to her again. I just said, I really enjoyed doing this, and I'll meet you tonight. Then I get a phone call early in the morning. She passed away during the night.
Wow.
So I thought to myself,
Wonderful.
thank you. I got to meet her, and that's the feeling. People thank us for doing the salutes. Yet for me, it's an honor
Yeah.
and a privilege to be able, first of all, to meet them, but to thank these heroes for serving our country.
Yes.
So I just love doing this, and thank Gilchrist for doing all these things.
Such a good program.
I love
This
it.
is a
Yeah, Gilchrist is good.
personal touch.
It sure is. And I'm paying back those guys waving goodbye on Benoit River, because that was a void, and that filled it. That really did.
Well, you brought your medals or whatever. Can you show us?
Yeah, he's got more.
And
Yeah.
explain what do they mean?
Most of them are, well,
You
several,
probably have to pick up a little higher.
basically Vietnam.
Yeah.
I have an Army Commendation Medal, a Good Conduct Medal,
Yeah.
a National Defense Ribbon, Expert Rifle, Overseas Combat. I'm sure this one up here is for beer drinking contest. This other one over here is probably for learning how to shoot rubber bands and kill flies in Germany. That was a skill I learned, so I had to get a badge for it.
I didn't have as many as he is. It said mine are all in my foot locker, if I still have them, up in the attic.
You want to show everybody your hat?
That's why I brought my hat.
What are the pins?
Well, the pins. One is at the Army. This is what's the NSA Army Security
The one on
Agency
the right.
that was used. It's an eagle's claw with lightning. That's supposed to be the radio signals, the lightning.
Yeah.
That was.
So that's for the your unit.
Yeah, this is a Vietnam medal here. The two organizations, like I said, that I dealt with mostly was the 1st Infantry Division, that one there, and the 25th Infantry Division here. They were the ones I dealt with mostly.
So once you join a unit, they will give you a pin?
No. These if you have you can get these in the. Yeah, you can get them anywhere.
Yeah.
Go online,
Fort
Oh.
and they have places where you can order pins for. They don't give you these things now. The only thing you get nowadays, if you're in the service, you get the little things you go in your lapel.
Yeah.
But back,
So what's
back
the 74, 72? What's that?
Pardon?
What does that mean?
that's the Vietnam.
unit.
That's the Vietnam Veteran of Foreign Wars, and that's 7472 is the Ellicott City branch.
Oh, I see.
There. And I'm grateful that I met these guys 3 years ago, and it brought me out of my shell.
Yeah.
I now go to they have airplanes flying in
Yeah.
during the summer and the spring and the fall to go on tours on DC, like the World War II for World War II Vietnam veterans. And we go meet them at the airport,
Honor flights.
honor flights.
Wow.
And a couple of times we invite those people back, like on a Sunday, for dinner, not dinner, it's kind of a dinner at the VFW hall.
Yeah.
And we sit and just talk.
That's
And
nice.
it's brought me out of my shell as far
Every
as.
year they come to visit?
There's every year. Right now they're on hiatus because it's always so hot in DC in July and early August. So the middle of August they'll start up again through August, September, and October. These honor flights. So we fly. The airport gives us parking passes to.
That's a wonderful event.
Yeah. So we right now I can't walk to meet them because of injury in January. But when I'm fully functional, I will go again and actually walk to the terminal. They let us through the terminal. They let us go down and meet the people as they get off the airplane.
Is there a national database where you can search like your buddies during the war, like this?
There's
You can't find out where they are now.
there's something called Vet Friends. Have you
Yeah,
seen
something
it?
like that.
But-
And there are others.
Yeah, there's some others.
So
but
you
I-
lost contact with all your
Yeah, I really haven't maintained contact for a lot of reasons. But I have one other thing I just wanted to mention.
Yeah.
Not too long ago, a buddy of mine who was in ASA, and he was with the 4th Infantry. They were flying the same thing we were. Anyway, he gave me a poster, and it was all in Vietnamese.
Yeah.
In the middle was the ASA patch.
Oh, yeah.
It was. I'll send it to you. It was circulated in Vietnam
Yeah.
by the Viet Cong.
Yeah.
And basically, at the top, it says 100,000 piastres. It was basically
A wanted poster for those for us.
for us.
Yeah.
In other words,
If you had the patch. it
Yes.
was- Yeah.
Yeah. They go by the patch, yes.
what was interesting was when we looked into it, 100,000 piastres is less than $10. Now, I'm sure to Vietnamese that was a lot of money.
Yeah.
But still, for us, I
$10 was
felt
a lot of money back in the 60s.
It
What are you
was.
talking about?
Well-
$10 back now is about $100.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember paying 5 cents for cigarettes in Vietnam. But then the sea rations, you always got 3 cigarettes in the sea rations.
the worst thing is I'm replaced by a drone.
Yeah.
So I'm not only worthless, I've been replaced by a
It
drone.
seems like it's all drones now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
There are
exactly.
so many different types of things.
But, you know, I didn't have as much of experience as you did. You had even much better than me,
Well,
relatively speaking.
relatively speaking, yes. Yes.
But we both grew up. And I grew up in
Oh
Vietnam.
boy. Yeah.
From an 18-year-old teenager to a 21-year-old guy who didn't think much of the world, quite frankly. Didn't think much of the Americans because they didn't support
You
us.
had a
Our
career.
country had turned against us.
Yeah,
I mean, we were vilified for what we had done, for serving our country.
for serving because you're either going to be drafted or go in. If you're drafted, you're definitely serving in the infantry. But no, it's.
I will never, though, regret that I volunteered to go.
Uh,
I mean, I could have spent those 3 years in Germany, and who knows what would have happened. But the point is, it was a stupid decision to make. I mean, my frontal lobe couldn't have been working. It was non-functional. To think that it was smart to go to combat.
Right.
But what it did for me, I would never go through that again, believe me. But what it did for me, it changed my life. It really did. And I do not regret making that decision.
No, I don't regret doing it. I regret how I was treated. To this day, still to this day, this is almost 60 years now. Next year, actually December, it'll be 60 years since Vietnam for me.
You're treated by the general public even today?
Even today, it's
Really?
I have things I won't talk about that happened 60 years ago, and I will not talk about it.
I see.
It's embarrassing. Not embarrassing. It's
Triggering might be what you
it's
say now.
having to kill somebody,
Yeah.
even though if it's from a distance. You're still ending another human life, and he's trying to kill you too.
You know,
Right.
But you know, you
Still-
can't help. I don't know if you did it, but you can't help
Yeah.
going out on the ground with these guys, and they have bodies, just row after row after row of bodies, and their bodies you don't want to look at.
Yeah.
They're torn apart. Even the Americans who have been killed, they're not just.
yeah, yeah. It's
I mean,
ugly.
they're literally losing an arm, a leg, a knee. You know, they're not. Guts hanging out. It's not a pleasant sight.
When I went to retrieve personal items from my best friend at Graves Registration, walking into that tent,
Yeah.
I'll never forget it. It's in my mind, and I'll have that until the day I die.
Yeah, and to this day, there was a time I had to go to the hospital, and I'm waiting in the emergency room. I'm actually being treated, and this helicopter flew in, and this young guy couldn't have been 20 years old, headshot. And the nurses, wonderful nurses and doctors, trying to see if this guy is anything still there as far as a life. For not just 5 minutes, I mean for half an hour to an hour I was there, they were trying desperately to determine if this guy was going to survive or not. And like I said, we did things, and then there's nurses and doctors, I don't know how they survive.
I don't know either.
Every day they had to go look at pieces put together. You don't understand. You literally don't. You don't understand.
Those doctors and nurses, talk about heroes. They are up there to meet with helicopter pilots. They did things that no human being should ever have to do. But they did it because that was their job, but that was their heart.
Yep.
And they did it.
Yep. Absolutely.
Heroes.
I think we gave you more than 15 minutes.
You sure did.
But you asked, and we're sitting here. This is the way to have a podcast. Two people with relatively the same experiences, different time frames, slightly different types, but still going through the same experience.
Thanks for your time, guys.
Thank you very
Thank you so
much.
much.
For sharing your stories.
It was an honor.
These are personal stories. You know, we've read articles, saw photos, watched movies, but this is different. So personal. And really, we're very grateful for your sharing.
Thank you.
Yeah. And the only time I can also finish this off was when I came back from Vietnam. My dad took me aside, and he says, "Now I can talk to you." And I understood what he meant, because I had experienced some kind of the same, different time frame, but some of the same experiences. And he was a combat engineer.
Ooh,
And a combat engineer,
they had the worst.
they went on the beach before the Marines to blow up the things that would stop the landing. So they went in first to blow up these things. Of the whole group that he has, there was a picture, I still have it in my wall, I should have brought it, of 8 guys where he went to the islands with, and he was the sole survivor.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Okay.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome, thank you.